Alright, welcome back to a new episode of The Return to the SWF. We are here last week of January, last week of the first month here on the save. Not really much else to actually get into. We don't have a lot pre-booked for this show. I have one match that I pre-booked on this show just to get it to show up here. Because it happened last week, and I think I forgot to explicitly say that Adam Smasher and Oliver Cobb are fighting tonight. I know there was a promo by Adam Smasher, but other than that, I don't think I actually mentioned it. So we're still building to the Nothing to Lose pay-per-view, our February pay-per-view, and we only have one match. We have the World Heavyweight title match pre-booked already. It is going to be Rocky Golden versus the Crippler. For those of you that don't remember, on When Hell Freezes Over, the Crippler won a 4-way against, I think it was Rogue, Remo, and Valiant. Remo and Valiant for sure. I think Rogue was the fourth man. Actually, I could be wrong. I'll double check. I will double check right now. It was Rogue. Okay, I don't know why I was torn between Rogue and I was torn between Rogue and someone. I immediately just forgot who it was. That's crazy. Okay, was I thinking Angry Gilmore? No, I was thinking a heel. I just immediately forgot. Alright, but yeah, let's just get into the show, and we open the show with a kind of a generic promo, just a basic little angle here. Rocky Golden came back from I don't remember what Crippler did on the pay-per-view, but he essentially laid out Golden pretty harshly with a chair, and Golden came back in less than a week, surprising everybody, and this is just kind of like a AEW-style promo battle to kick off the show, to get these two men, get these fans into watching these two men beat the shit out of each other, and it turns into a brawl, and Rocky Golden's just saying shit like, "Oh, you were nothing your whole career. You've always needed guys to back you up, and now that you're on your own, you think you're tough shit, but you're not really tough shit, are you? You're like seafood to the rest of us." And inside remark, and the Crippler's like, "I could beat your ass, or I could beat any of your friends' asses. I could beat Valiant's ass again if I want to. I just beat him at the pay-per-view in a 4-way. In fact, I think I pinned him, I believe. I don't even remember because it was such an easy match, just like the match I'm going to have with you, just like a breeze." And, they just get into a brawl. And I forgot to put an angle on the show, but that line with Valiant was completely significant, because that is, I guess it can happen. I made this like an 8-minute angle. I guess the last minute we'll just say is dedicated to promoting next week's main event, which will now be Valiant versus the Crippler. Eric's like, "You think you can beat up Valiant? Then by all means, let's give Valiant a shot against you." So that got a nice 88. We open the show with Brett Biggins losing to Dominic D'Souza, a 7.5-minute match. Dominic D'Souza is one of my favorite newcomers to the SWF. He had a terrible render in 2016, and I honestly I could point out the render, could never name the guy. For those of you that aren't huge into the Cornellverse, at least for me, if you got a shitty render, you're like on the internal blacklist in my mind. I don't even, it's not that I don't register, it's just your render's so bad that I don't even acknowledge it. There's very few people where I have to overlook the render to use the person. So if anyone's doing a small company in the Cornellverse, check out Alistair Shufflebottom. He has a terrible render, and I'm like, dude, his render was terrible, and I looked at it, and I'm like, this guy has to be awful, and he's a fucking workhorse. So if you got a small company, small little tangent here, you got a small company, sign that man up. He's a fucking legend. He's amazing. And yeah, Dominic had a terrible render. Didn't even notice him. Now he's got an amazing render, and I love him. Pretty much how it goes in the Cornellverse, and I feel like I'm not the only one that feels that way. And then afterwards, Joe Sexy shows up tonight, hands Dominic D'Souza his business card. He's handed out a few business cards, and he's not stopping anytime soon. 63 for that little segment. If you remember last week, Brandon James and Spencer Spade kind of had an awkward encounter. I wouldn't say that either man necessarily was threatened by the other. And that was until Chris Angel and Brandon James took the time to cut this promo. Chrissy's just like, guys, just because you can't think, this is a what's the fucking word? PSA? Yeah, this is a PSA to any newcomers in the SWF. If you can't think of a way to get on TV, don't rip off us. We've met a couple people, we're not going to name any names. And then Brandon jumps in just like, it's Spencer Spade, he's a rip-off. We're not going to name any names, but we've noticed that people think it's okay to rip off us, and it's not okay to anybody who's thinking that. We're not naming any names. Brandon James is like, if you keep this shit up, Spencer, I'm gonna rip your fucking tongue out. You think you're the next Brandon James? There's no one better than Brandon James. There's no one ever gonna be nearly as good as Brandon James. And you can be a carbon copy clone as much as you want, but you'll never fill the boots that I have. That's not just because you're half my size and you physically can't fill the boots, but metaphorically, you couldn't fill those boots either. You got 4 pairs of boots that you can't fill. So you might want to clean out your closet. Yeah, Brandon, you not naming any names. 65, 80 for Adam Smasher versus Oliver Cobb. Fucking Adam Smasher is he's the breakout star of 2020 in my opinion. At least he's definitely for the SWF. Hell, maybe even the big 3. He's one of my new favorite guys to push in the first year. And I usually go with a superhero that fucking somehow got delusional. He's now a huge asshole and a villain essentially, but he still thinks he's a superhero. If my Tyler wants to describe in the comments section of this video how he's booking Adam Smasher currently on one of his offline saves, go right ahead, because I can't fucking explain it. Essentially, this guy's so good, you can go any direction with this dude, and I love him. But the story of this match is pretty much that Adam Smasher's a complete asshole, and on paper seems like a complete joke, but at the end of the day, he's still a seasoned veteran wrestler, and he can beat the lower card guys like Oliver Cobb without any cheating. And I just wanted to establish that, and it got an amazing 80 for it. However, not cheating during the match, he does in fact beat the absolute loving shit out of Oliver Cobb after the match, and then the power plant kayfabe Pillmanize Oliver Cobb. They don't kayfabe, they Pillmanize him, they kayfabe injure him. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. I think I can't remember. I recorded that last SWF video a month or 2 ago, so I can't remember if I showed you the Power Plant's new logo. So if nobody's seen it, oh man, where is it? There you are. If nobody's seen it, if I didn't show it, here's the logo for the Power Plant. I probably did show it on the last video, but in my opinion, better safe than sorry. Made by amazing my Tyler. Gotta throw his name out twice in one video because I suck off all my friends. So, yeah, he made this one, and he made a logo for another stable that's going to be debuting within the next month. So, I'll show you that one when they debut. Des Davids is supposed to be off screen. I usually don't fuck that up, but I did this time. Des David, so it's Eric Eisen calls Lenny Brown into his office basically to tell him, Lenny, I've been fighting tooth and nail with Des Davids to work out some sort of an agreement to get you a rematch for the North American Championship in a no DQ match, one where Des Davids can't get counted out, can't get disqualified to retain his title the cheap way. And I somehow cracked through. I cracked through to him, and you will be getting your no disqualification rematch for the North American title. However, Des Davids had one request, and that is that for your match tonight, he gets to pick the opponent. And he's decided to keep it a mystery. I know who it is, he knows who it is, but we're the only two people, well, I guess, and your opponent. Your opponent knows. I almost forgot about that. Your opponent also knows. And yeah, that's all he asked for. However, I'd be very careful during your match tonight. And Lenny Brown's like, what? I mean, I don't see how that's anything but good news. I'm a wrestler, Eric. I gotta wrestle a match? Eric's like, yeah, let's just say it's not gonna be a cakewalk, okay? Alright, so we have our second match pre-booked for this pay-per-view now. Hardcore match. It's average injury risk. I hope they'll let me fucking run it. Lenny Brown and Des David. Oh, that's right. They have poor chemistry while fighting. That's not good. That's what Des Davis sounds like when he wants to wrestle Lenny Brown. Alright, but yeah, I think we're all good then. Just set that. Alright, little known fact about Des Davis, he barks like a dog when he doesn't get his way. This is an angle I forgot to remove from this show because I forgot I put it on next week's show. But it will be an angle I remove from next week's show then. Basically, last week the Pain Alliance beat down Hawaiian Crush and kind of challenged them for a World Tag Title match. And this is just kind of the Hawaiian Crush accepting it. They're like, the future's now Pain Alliance, and we are it. You can try to stay relevant all you want, but beating down us ain't gonna do anything because we'll expose you at the pay-per-view. Yeah, I forgot I pre-booked that for next week's. No, I remembered it at the last second after I already booked this show. Now I have to remember to take it off of that show or else we're gonna have some problem here. Pain Alliance. So yeah, we have all of our title matches pre-booked now. 64 for that. Nice, I love that number. And we then get a squash match where Mikey Lau just works fucking circles around Charger Siaki, goes 5 minutes and murders him. Another 64, still like that number. And we get a quick promo by Rogue just to call out Mikey Lau, kind of. Like, I'm hearing a lot, like Rogue's just like, I'm hearing a lot of talk about the future and people being left in the past. Well, I just want you to know, you gotta be wary about what y'all say because there's some fads. Fads are a thing. Fads die off, and you're a fad, Mikey. When did you get here? 4 years ago? 5 years ago? More than 3 years ago, I know. And what have you accomplished? Nothing. Maybe you're already dying out. Maybe you're a fad that's already fading out. You see, you can't beat some of the classics like me. 76 for that. We then have another 76 here where Angry Gilmore is not destroying the backstage area. You know what? He's angry fucking Gilmore. He is destroying the backstage area, looking for anyone and every member of the Rat Pack until eventually Eric Eisen has to run out from somewhere else and stop Angry Gilmore. He has to calm him down. He's like, Gilmore, you can't destroy my shit, okay? I know you're angry, alright? Here, I'm the boss, okay? I'll get Paul Huntington. You two can have a match. Just please fucking calm down. And Gilmore's like, fine. But everything I just did to all these inanimate objects, I'm going to do it to a real human being tonight. The Rat Pack are fucked. We then have a 69 rated promo where Joe Sexy finds Mainstream Hernandez backstage and he's like, hey, Jim, this is a little awkward, but I'm gonna need that business card back. Look, I don't want to manage losers. And Mainstream just blankly looks at him and he's like, you're really lucky I didn't want to join your group anyway because I'd be really offended if it wasn't you. So, here. And Joe's like, I know you're angry, and I know you're trying to not let it get to you, but I can see that you're really mad at me. Look, it's nothing personal, it's just I thought you were a better wrestler. I thought you were good. I'm sorry. My bad. have a fun life. Bye. 69 for that. Fuck yeah. We have an 81. This match got an 81. Awesome. Paul Huntington got the good number. Good to see. But yeah, Angry Gilmore beats Paul Huntington. Surprisingly, no interference from the Rat Pack. And the announcers make note of this throughout the match, like, oh, I can't wait till we see Justin run out, or I can't wait till Monty ruins the party, but they never do. And that's all because they were saving themselves for another post-match beatdown where the Rat Pack just beat the shit out of Angry Gilmore 4-on-1, and Hollywood stands tall with a cocky smile on his face like, I'm the man, nobody can beat me, Angry Gilmore ain't shit, and you have no friends. Plus ratio. 84, and then we get a nice 69, where hopefully I remember to edit this part, because this is where we reveal who Lenny Brown's opponent is. Lenny Brown in the ring, Des Davids on the ramp, and I had to pause there because I forgot what the setup was. Lenny Brown's already made his entrance, he's all ready. Des Davids comes out to the top of the ramp, and he's like, Lenny, I don't know why you're not worried, because it's not very often where I willingly take title matches, but let's just say this title match is going to be a pretty easy cakewalk, because you're not going to be able to walk properly come nothing to lose, because your opponent tonight is this man. And Remo's music hits, and the crowd's just like, oh shit, that's the plan. Remo comes in, and Lenny Brown, he lasts 20 minutes, or 18 minutes, sorry, a 20-minute total time limit when I was booking. He lasts 18 minutes to show that Lenny Brown is the real deal. He is a very talented worker, but he's not there yet, because Remo does end up winning in a decisive manner, 1803, 81 rated match. Remo gets a fucking 91. That's insane. That's awesome. And after the match, we kind of have like Des Davids trying to be all buddy-buddy with Remo, but Remo's just like not fucking having it. He's like, dude, we're not friends, okay? I'm doing this because it's my job. Now get the fuck out of here. And Des is still trying to be like, yeah, man, me and Remo, we go way back. And Remo's like, dude, fucking stop. And Des eventually gets out of the way. And Des is like, you remember the other part, right? And he's like, oh, I remember it. Beating people up's my favorite part. He begins to just fucking beat the shit out of Lenny Brown some more until a surprising save, a Valiant save by Valiant to end the show. We have Valiant coming out, saving Lenny Brown, winning a brawl, and sending the heels packing to send the fans home happy. Nice 82. Nice 82 there, yeah. I was trying to think if I had any pre-bookings that I forgot for next week's show, but no, just the Valiant match. And yeah, that's how we end the show. Increased our rating in a lot of areas. 83 rated segment, because I'm fucking awesome at this game. I'm a fucking whiz. I'm amazing. No one can touch me. That's gonna do it. February's next. Valiant versus Crippler. Yeah, I mean, I got really nothing. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's been this long. I forgot. I also check how badly we fucking massacred TCW this week. Those fucking marks. Stupid marks. Average TCW mark misery. Dude, I put all the marks in misery when I beat TCW in the break. Just fucking go. Fucking losers. Dude, I smoked them. Maybe I didn't smoke them, but I beat them bad. See, that's what... What the fuck is this? This y'all main? Fucking Tana versus Ed. Oh, that's not the main. I'm like, oh, dude, alright. That's a much better main. It's still not good. But that's anything's better than Tana the fat. Dude, that's a fucking good. I got high five myself. That was a fucking good punchline. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Suzanne's retiring. Oh man, I was gonna bring her into the company. She's gonna wrestle really hard. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all are coming back for episode 6. I think. Don't hold me accountable.